Okay, welcome to final test review day 2. We'll start with question number 17. You can see up here in the help part of the first page of this review sheet that we're now going to deal with things like the quadratic formula and also remembering the properties of a standard form quadratic, an intercept form quadratic, and a vertex form quadratic. And you should be able to go look up those properties and remind yourself of those properties by going back to your flip book for that unit. All those properties are detailed in that book. So use your flip book as a study guide for this section of our review. So it says for questions 17 through 22, find the x-intercepts of the graph of the equation. Find the x-intercepts. We could also call this solutions or zeros or roots. We can also say solve. Every one of those words describe the x-intercepts, which of course are the places on the graph. If we do a little example here, they're the places on the graph where the parabola crosses the x-axis. So this would be an x-intercept, and this would be an x-intercept. Whoops, I should probably put arrows on this. Very bad drawing, but at least gives you a reminder. All right, so let's go ahead and look at number 17. Our equation is y equals x minus 1 times x plus 3. Well, this is a factored quadratic, and we call this intercept form. So this is our intercept form of a quadratic, and we call it intercept form because, hey, it actually tells us what the x-intercepts are. In this case, hopefully you learn to find the x values that change y to 0 will give us our x-intercepts. Taking a look at our graph, you can see that for both of these blue points, that's when the y value is equal to 0. So if I can find the two values of x that can change the y value to 0, I've found my x-intercepts. And we learned an easy way to do that in class, and that was to write two equations. We can set x minus 1 equal to 0, and we can set x plus 3 equal to 0. Those came from our factored form of our quadratic. And all we do here is apply a little bit of algebra. Add 1 to both sides. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to add 1 to the left side, which means we have to add 1 to the right side. The 1's cancel over here, positive and negative, and we end up with x equals 1. And on this side, same thing applies. We're going to go ahead and subtract 3 from both sides because you want to get rid of the 3 on the left side, which moves it over to the right side. Positive 3 and negative 3 cancel, and we have x equals negative 3. So there's our x values that change our y value of our equation to 0. That means these are the two x values of our x-intercepts. So our final answer could be x equals 1 and x equals negative 3, or more likely on a test, you'll probably see these written as coordinates. This would be the coordinate 1, 0, because we know the y value has to be 0. And this is going to be the coordinate negative 3, 0. Remember, class, for x-intercepts, the y value will always be 0. Always be 0. Don't flip these around. If I wrote this as 0, negative 3, I'm actually giving a y-intercept and not an x-intercept. So be careful about how you write your coordinates. So you're specifying 2 points that are actually on the y-axis.